I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? I decided to come back on. I don't know whether or not the title, sometimes with certain words from YouTube, they don't like. So I don't know if that was the reason why or whether people aren't interested in doing that, which is fine. We'll find something else to do, no problem. But I wanted to come on because I wanted to do another topic, at least until Alfonso's live at what's the time? Uh, Alfonso's coming on at 9:30, so I'll be on his channel. So I wanted to come on and just find a topic that we could talk about. And so this is one I found really quickly that I thought would be helpful to people as we're kind of going in with all the rain coming and so forth. Easy and simple spring ideas that we can do. Now, the question for today, as far as the connection question, is oceans or mountains? And for this girl, it's mountains. I just love the beautiful mountains. I'm not somebody that really totally ever liked the ocean, so I just love the mountains. Always have and always will. So that's my answer to that question. So we're going to get into this topic for the next hour. As far as ideas for spring, we've got spring coming up. It's certainly been raining enough for it, tell you that right now, right? Spring is upon us. And so we've got the candle in the back. So light that candle in your head. And so some just ideas for budget for spring. So let's get into them. Because I only have an hour before we have Alfonso. So the first idea is beach trip, which if you live near an ocean, we're talking about mountains and beaches, right? Beach trip. So if you live someplace near where you can get to a beach, that's the first one. That's a great, inexpensive budget idea for spring break. Now, if you're in one of those places that everybody congregates, when we were in Florida and spring break happened, you didn't go, you knew when spring break was going to happen. It was not a place you went very much down when you were going to be, happening in the spring, the spring side of anything. You didn't go down to the beach during spring break. But that's another idea. We used to take like a picnic basket, go down, take a picnic basket. Sometimes we would go down in the evening, when it was sunset and it was cooler and so forth, and we'd stop off at Publix. Boy, do I miss my Publix, and get fried chicken and so forth, and put that on the beach and sit there and have, dinner and so forth on the beach. So, that is one inexpensive. If you live by the beach, find one. It's a great thing. The second idea for people on for budget is if you have a national park near you. They have a lot of trails. That's a great activity for families. Is maybe take a road trip. Maybe if you don't have a national park too far from where you live, go to a national park and go to a national park and, go on the trail walks. They may even have like, maybe look into seeing how much it would be to maybe rent a camper, so that you can rent a camper and take that down to a local park or a local thing and go camping. So that may be something to think about. Go to a national park. They have beautiful trails. And that may be an idea for an inexpensive thing. Maybe there's a national park not too far from where you live, or maybe a couple hours away, and you can, go to a national park. So that's the second idea for a budget. Another one is a camping trip, which kind of, easy friendly. And I will put this article in the bottom below. So, road trip to a national park will offer scenic drives, quality time with the family. Budget tips. Many national parks offer free or low cost entry days, or can purchase annual pass to save money. Didn't think of that, right? So then the third one, of course, is camping trip. So, camping in late March can provide some amazing weather that you can't find in the summer months. The spring months are a great time to get outdoors, outside, especially after this winter. Boy, did we have a pretty much of a winter that was pretty heavy. And so if you're going to do that, then think of that. With a family before it gets too hot, and less bugs. It's always a good thing, right? When we have the less bugs, we'll take the less bugs. And then the fourth idea, here it says 2. Sorry, missed that part. Here it says 2. Check out local campgrounds or state parks, which can have a very affordable rates. You can even try backyard camping if you're looking to stay close from home. I think that we forget sometimes with kids, we don't have to do a big activity. Sometimes it is just doing simple. I loved when I was a kid to be able to like do the tents. You have the tents, and you do, the tents from home. You put the tents in the living room, right? And make a camp evening in your living room. Put it in the backyard. And if you're really, dealing with tight with money, the kids will just enjoy the time with you. They're not going to be necessarily going to think, okay, where's the next and baddest, you know what I mean? The place that we've been or something, I know bad means good, right? At least it did back in my day. I don't know if it's the same thing today, but it doesn't have to be huge. So maybe find a local place that's in the area and go ahead and try to um, I think that's a great idea. Take a camping trip and go in the backyard. Pop a tent, have it there. It's not about the quantity or the quality, or no, the quantity or what you're doing. It's about the quality of time. The kids love that. And so we're going to make it, make a big deal about it. If you can't go out, we're going to our backyard, and, we can still have a camping trip and popping up a camping trip and all that kind of stuff in the backyard. That's a great idea. Let me see if there's anything more to this. Backyard camping. I love it. Do it in the living room. I thought that was fun when I was a kid. We literally did the tent in the living room, and everybody came in, and I thought it was a bunch of fun. And it doesn't have to be extensive. Sometimes it can be really just kind of simple. Here's another one that would, it's going to do the article. That's not what I want. So the next one, the fourth one, is a zoo or an aquarium visit. That would be another inexpensive things to do. Now, some of the aquariums, they can be really expensive, or the zoos can be, but if it's something you can do, then go ahead and do. We have a place near us. It's the Amish country. And they have buggy rides. They have a petting zoo. It's not a huge zoo, but they take you in the buggy ride. We did it with Patty, and they take you in the buggy ride and let you see all the farm animals. And there's a place near here that you can take, and it's like a place that you can actually go in, and they do private tours inside and so forth, and have a limited kind of thing. There's another place that actually has a zoo, but it's smaller. So if going to like a big city zoo or an aquarium is too much, too expensive, go see if you can find, like a local place that can do it. When I was in, when we used to live, we had like a crafting place, and I loved it because it was like, it was a crafting carousel or something, and you would go in and people would pick stuff, and I mean, you could sit for hours painting. If as the kids got older, of course, I spent a lot of time. I used to love doing that. So something to think about for that kind of thing. All right, so most large cities have a high quality zoo or aquarium that may make a great place for your young children or older kids alike to enjoy. You should be able to find one close that you may be able to make an easy day trip. Look for discount. Family passes are free entry days. Many zoo offers reduced prices during the off-peak seasons. Here's another really cool one that I didn't think about. Another one is a nature scavenger hunt. That would be really fun, actually. So create a scavenger hunt in your backyard, if I can talk, backyard or local park, nearby nature trails. It's fun and engaging way to explore the outdoors with your kids. This is something you can do right from the comfort of your own home. If your travel feels difficult because of the work schedules or costs, create fun experiences at home with family. The activity is entirely free. Just print out a scavenger hunt list and create it on your own. That's a great idea. What a great idea, right? Have your kids get involved with that a little bit. Find a leaf, find a rock, find this, find that, and do a scavenger hunt. And, out in a local nature park or even in your backyard or something like that. That is a great idea, a nature scavenger hunt. To do that would be a really inexpensive, that would be a fun idea to do, and it would be a great fun idea to do. So here's one too. The next one, and if you did before we go on to the next one, if you did a nature scavenger hunt, have a picnic ready to go. If you go to a park, have the scavenger hunt and then sit down and have a picnic. And it doesn't have to be sandwiches that you buy. Make your own sandwiches and bring them to the park. And that would be a great idea to do for kids. The fifth one, are we on 5? Hold on. The sixth one is museum exploration, children's museum or science centers. So many cities have affordable children's museums, science centers, or local historical museums that are both fun and educational. Look for school districts in the surrounding area that also have a spring break or a different week from you, as you can cut down on crowds. Look for deals for free entries and considers memberships that offer discounts on multiple visits. I know a place near where we live. It offers a day where you are like you can come in and do it for what is it? I think it's for like on Mondays. And you have Mondays, and every Monday you get to come in and be able to have that kind of, you know, uh, you have that day where you get to come in and do something. And just as a side note, before we go on to the next one, I will be on Big Jack Story Time at tomorrow. Looking forward to that on his Iron Sharpen Iron show. So tomorrow's a big day, but I will be on. So hopefully you will join us for tomorrow. So this is another one, depending on where it is. I remember when I was little, we used to go to a You Pick 'em place. So here's another one. And that's 7 is a farm visit or a You Pick 'em visit. I mean, I remember that. And they used to be lots of fun. I remember that. So there's fun and interactive ways for kids to enjoy the great outdoors. If you pick apples, blueberries, there was a place near our house that did strawberries, which was a bunch of fun. You can have a baking session when you return home, adding to the spring break activity lineup. Many farms offer low cost or even free visits for the family, especially in rural areas. And you can also find You Pick 'em farms, or you can also find You Pick 'em farms where families can pick their own fruits and affordable vegetables. So that's another great place. Those are great things to be able to do. You Pick 'em in the farms. We have a lot of farms near where we live, and that is a great way to be able to have that ability. Number 8 is a staycation for your local attractions. You know, sometimes we forget the wonderful things kind of in our backyard, right? We have our wonderful things in our own backyard, and sometimes we forget really exploring our communities that we have surrounding us. Around here, we have a lot of the Amish and so forth, and there's places and certain things. Another great thing is just to type into your Google everything right in our world today. Google, things that can just simply say, local things to do on a day. And another great resource for that is also looking at places on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, a lot of times people will put it in events in their local areas. And the Facebook is a great resource to be able to look at different events that are going on in your local community that you weren't aware were happening, that were free events for kids or fairs. During the, I think it's like September or October last year, I came across a huge, I mean, for the town it's just a little town, but it's a huge fair, not very far. I mean, it was just packed, and I was absolutely shocked. I didn't realize it was in my own backyard. It was through a friend that I found it. So take a moment and look at Facebook. It's a great resource to be able to look and be able to find those local areas and so forth in your backyard, to be able to realize a lot of those places will have free free events and so forth. So that's a great resource to be able to look in their event section on their page. This is another one that is a great idea. 9 is DIY movie day home theater. If you can put something outside and have it, if you can put it in your home, in TV, and you can set up a movie marathon day at home with your kids to favorite films, right? Complete with popcorn, cozy blankets, and home made concession stand. Movie nights can be extra special with fun additions like dollar store snacks and fun setup. This is completely free if you already have the movies and can stream them online. That is another way, inexpensively, to not have to, be able to, deal with the cost of movies. Because I'm telling you, you go to movies and they're like ridiculous. I think they're about the cost of eggs right now, if you really think about it. So that's a neat way to maybe do it. If you can do something in the backyard. I've even seen people put, if they have a pool, they put those floaties in the pool and they've sat with the thing, if you can even do that. Just putting a tent in your living room and letting the kids watch it from a tent. Make it fun. Make it exciting. Pick out their favorite movies. And here's another thing to think about when you're doing it, right? Think about when you're doing this, just think about the fact that you want to make sure that maybe there's some movies your kids haven't seen yet. The movies that you really liked when you were growing up, and put those on. I watched last night when I was trying to deal with my headache. I dealt with what was it? Indiana? No, not Indiana. One Little Indian with James Garner in it. Hi, Lucy. We're back. James Garner. Another great one was what was it? Cat from Outer Space. So go back to some of the movies you grew up with that were just really good and ones that you enjoyed watching. I love Snowball Express, Love Bug, some of those older movies that these kids probably they haven't seen, and go back and watch them and have like a retro night, and go back and watch some of those old movies. That Darn Cat, and The Ugly Dachshund, and so forth, and expose them to some of the movies that you grew up with, ones that bring back really special memories for you, and sit down and watch them. So that's just something to think about. It doesn't always have to be the movies that we're watching today, the newest movie. Put in something that you are that you grew up with, that really bring in special memories for you. Now, this is one I didn't think about, and that is big bite, or big. I have Big Jack on my head, the Big Jack story time, which I'll be on for tomorrow. But Bike Adventure, I would have never thought of that one. So that one is, if your kids can ride a bike day at a local park along a safe trail can be a great way to enjoy the enjoy nature and get some exercise. Warm weather outside activities will bring, warm weather outdoor adventures will make your spring break trip memorable. Even in your own hometown. So if you already have bikes, this is a cost that really doesn't have an expense. Bring your lunch with you. Take them out. Have a bike adventure. Another thing you can do is, if you don't have an ocean, I just thought of this, there's lakes around where we are. So you know what? Go to a local lake. Go to a place that you like, like a pond, pond or whatever. But I know my daughters, you're welcome. I know our daughter, where she has a place that her husband and her like to go, and they go swimming. So if you don't have an ocean, find a local swimming hole around where you are and take them to the local swimming hole, and so forth. Take them to the local, if they have a local creek, and let them put their feet in the water. Those are all really good ideas. So a craft or art day, get some unique crafts that you may want to do. Create a fun day with them, making crafts and painting the kids, painting that the kids can take home as souvenirs during spring break. Try painting the rock trend and hide them in the park somewhere. That may be a really neat thing. Take some rocks, have them paint it, and then have them hide it. And then someone else is going to find them. Use the supplies that you already have at home. Use the Dollar Tree as far as, things. I would say that if you're going to get the paint from Dollar Tree, I wouldn't even bother with the paint from Dollar Tree. It's water. So if you're going to paint rocks, I would spend a little bit more and get it from the art store where you can literally do it. And you can even use that clear stuff. It's clear enamel. It's something that's like $4 a can, and even spray it if you want to make sure that it doesn't wash off. It's a great thing to do. Hide the rocks all over the, several places in the park, and let the kids find, let somebody else be blessed by finding it. So that would be a great thing, or another thing to do with the arts and crafts is maybe if you have several relatives, maybe a grandmother or aunt and uncle that don't live near you, have your kids draw some beautiful pictures. Hi, Hedge, how are you? Have them draw some beautiful pictures, right? And go ahead and send them to your local, your family members that are not too far, or that are not close to you, and have them get that special letter in the mail and say, so we're going to send Grandpa and Grandpa a letter with one of your beautiful pictures. Have them draw and have them name some people. Maybe there's an aunt and uncle. Maybe there's a friend of theirs that doesn't live close. And hi, Awaken, how are you? And so forth. And so that can be another great way to be able to, be able to, be able to bring in arts and crafts, right? Because you can bring that in and send letters. I think the art of letter writing has certainly gotten. Misha, I made you a mod again because I don't know what happened. I was doing something on the computer and some of my mods got erased that I did not intend for them to get erased by. So I redid it again. Anyway, so you can go ahead and, do something like that. Do a list, and we're gonna make a pretty picture and send it off, and then have them, do the picture and have them go and mail the letter. And so that's a great way to be able to also involve them in extending, so forth, and that kind of thing. You can also do some pretty artwork and maybe take it to a local nursing home and, maybe pass it around, because the people there may like. That's okay. I just want you to be able to, if you want to place the village in the chat, you can. That's why I made you a moderator. And I had done something and some of my moderators got out that I didn't want to. Hi, Kristen. How are you? I didn't want to get, out, and they did. And I just wanted to make sure that I could do it again so that you could, if you wanted to drop the village link, could drop the village link. But something happened, and I don't know what happened, but I thought I have to redo it again when people come back in. I've had some of them do it. So anyway, and when I made you that, I said, I made it to you because I wanted to do that. But I said, you never have to come in here and do anything, but just be here. I'm just glad to see you. So, just think about that. Maybe there's a local nursing home and they really would like some pictures. I mean, it means so much when they can put those pictures up, in their thing. They don't have a lot. That's fine, hon. I understand. No problem. You do whatever you want to do. I'm just glad to see you. You know that. So maybe have them do a picture, take it to a local nursing home. And they love to be able to have that handwritten picture from, local things. So there's a lot of things you can do and ways you can be a blessing to other people through arts and crafts. Maybe teach them a new art and craft if they haven't learned it before, right? So, number 12 is going to a local playground or a local splash pad. If there's a local place that has water and splashing and all that kind of stuff, then go ahead and do that. Another thing to do too is, have a fun thing in your backyard. Make a little play water park thing in your own backyard. You don't have to do it in a local place if you don't want to. The YMCA, if they've got a pool, I know ours does, they have a water park thing. That's sometimes inexpensive. Sometimes the day rate to go in is inexpensive. And that can be a great way to be able to do it. And pay just local playgrounds, and maybe if you've gone to the same playground every day, take them to a new playground. Maybe travel. We're going to travel an hour away. There's a really neat playground. We're going to go there. We're going to bring a picnic lunch, and we're going to go an hour away and go to a new playground, one that your kids haven't been to before. And maybe that's a neat way to be able to have them, be a part of that. And take a picnic lunch. Exploring different playgrounds and so forth may be a really neat idea to be able to do that. And again, Facebook is another, I know people like or dislike Facebook, but Facebook is another resource to be able to use so that you can be able to find activities in your local area that you were not aware of that were happening. Sometimes we had one when we were in Cincinnati, and it was a church that was putting together a movie night. And it was a funny movie. Actually, my daughter and my husband loved it, and they went there and they brought, their own little snacks and so forth. And it was all outdoors, and they put on this movie and they enjoyed it. Local drive-in. We forget about drive-ins, right? Absolutely, Kristen. We forget about drive-ins. Go to your local drive-in. That's a great thing, to be able to do because kids don't, know the drive-in kind of thing. So pay attention to the drive-ins that your local, the movies that your local drive-ins are playing. But look on Facebook because you may find some places that you go, oh, I didn't know they were having that. And it was totally free. It was a free event at this local church, and they sat out. They brought the lawn chairs. They brought their own snacks. And they sat out and watched this movie, and it was a great time for Josh and Christina to go do. But usually a drive-in will be less expensive, so that could be a different thing to do too as well. So something to think about. This is another thing, library and story time. So check your local library. Maybe they have a story time. Library programs are typically free, and you can borrow books, games, and other materials for in-home entertainment. Check to see if you can get a monthly calendar to attend some fun activities. Simple heads up library for stack of good books are to enjoy. Our libraries are packed with scheduled activity, especially during spring break. Also pay attention to, absolutely, pay attention to, I had it, now I forgot it. Pay attention to the YMCA because the YMCA sometimes will have a lot of programs for spring break. Also, another thing you could do too, if you're looking for, activities for them to do, go ahead and I had it and it just went in one head, but went out the other part of I'll remember it in just a second when I'm here sitting there thinking about it. You can also take, when you're thinking about library and story times, take different countries. Start teaching them different cultures. Go travel to the country. Maybe for that dinner, decide to go to Scotland and have some food. We did that because we were watching, we still watch Wind Calls the Heart. We were watching that and decided to make food from Canada. And we had poutine. So maybe get some foods that you can make really easily from that region and decide to study that a little bit, have fun with it, maybe cook a meal from that country, have a dessert from that country, explore that country. There's so much on YouTube now. You could probably find a place where you could visit it virtually and so forth. That's a great way to be able to show them a different country. Or different cultures and different experiences and so forth. Get them involved with finding the recipes, things that they would like to have and things that they would like to make. So that may be something to think about. Involve them in that. Involve them in maybe if they're older, maybe spend spring break a little bit learning about their own family heritage. Finding, maybe take them on Ancestry and, trying to find and exploring different places and so forth and different people within their family tree. Maybe that would be something to do. But pay attention. Like I said, Facebook can be a great resource to do for that. So, and here's another thing. If you've gone to the same library over and over again, maybe check out a different library in another town. Go to a different library, have a new experience, and maybe there's different activities at that library over the next one over. So when you're also looking on Facebook, don't just look at your little town. Go to maybe a neighboring town or one you could get there within the next hour. Pay attention to a further distance for that town. So the next one is 14, a road trip to a nearby town. So it's kind of like the same thing, a little bit different, but a road trip to a nearby town or city, visiting local landmarks, or try a unique local activity. Do a live do you live a short drive away from a historical park or beaches or a swimming hole or something like that? This is a perfect time to explore your area. Pack meals and snacks for road to save money. Local websites for free and low-cost activities. So again, that's another thing. Sometimes, like I said when we were talking about all the StreamYard stuff, is that sometimes we get comfortable in our own little bubble. We get comfortable in our own little back door, right? And what happens is that we tend to get comfortable and then it's like, well, I'm just going to stay here. But sometimes we need to expand that circle out a little bit. So if you have a place that's like a half an hour, 45 minutes away or an hour, make a road trip of it. If it's great weather and you want to go there and so forth, then go there. Just expand the circle a little bit. Also look for local trains. Sometimes they'll have local trains in neighboring areas. They have a train route. And sometimes I know during Christmas they'll have, excuse me, I have to take a drink of water. Sometimes they'll have Christmas times they'll have, the Polar Express train. Sometimes they'll have scenic train routes that you could take that aren't too expensive. So look for things like that that they may have as far as being able to take them on a train, right? Look for those kind of things. During the winter, you can look, and sometimes that can be expensive. They'll have tubing, but sometimes it can be expensive. You have to sometimes think outside the box. So when you're look at the neighborhood, towns. Look, maybe if you're somebody that wants to camp, maybe look at renting an RV if you've never rented one, because they can often deliver that to the place that you want to be able to camp at. But then if you don't have a vehicle that you're having that you can tow the vehicle or tow the camper with, it's already there. It's already there. It's already set up. It's ready for you to enjoy the time. So it may be something to think about. And the last is a spring picnic in a park. And this is again thinking a little bit outside your norm. If you've gone to the same park all the time, then maybe say, you know what, I'm going to check out another park, maybe an hour away from us. Let's go check out another park, or let's just get in the car and go and see what happens. I know when we were going to take a trip to Memphis, I didn't realize my parents had already planned that. We were in no joke right now, Louisiana, because we're fourth package, by the way, went to Louisiana, and we're still working with Amazon to correct it. But going to Louisiana, and they were going to give me an almanac. I know that's like totally foreign to kids right now, right? I'm sure you can do something online and allow me to be able to direct the, be able to guess where we were going. So I'm sure you can find something online to go to be able to, let them be able to decide where they're going. Make an adventure of it. I think sometimes we forget that we can do those kind of things with our kids. Get in the car and say, we're just going to take a road trip. We don't know where it's going to land. Just get in the car and drive. It's sometimes better than being stuck in a house, and some people may not have the ability to necessarily do that. But, you can do certain things that could get you to get out there. And you got to think a little bit outside the box. Is there a local museum that you haven't visited in another town that's not far from you? Ask your kids what they want to do. And I'd encourage, this is even for the kids, it's for yourself sometimes. Look and see if maybe a place that you're going has an Airbnb, and maybe those are cheaper to stay in than a hotel. Sometimes we have to think outside the box. Ask your kids, is there some things you want to do during the spring break? Maybe there's things I can make that happen, and I can make that happen. And it's not a big trip someplace here or there. It's just simple things that you would have never thought about. So sit down and decide what to do, decide what you're going to do with them, instead of just sitting there going, well, it's spring break and I don't know what I'm going to do. I think that sometimes those things need to be planned a little bit. But if you sit down with your kids and say, okay, we're on a budget right now. We can't afford to do this or that, but we can afford to do some things. What are some things you would like to do? And maybe they would come out with great ideas. Maybe you can ask a family relative or the grandparents to have a night. They can take the kids one night, and you guys, your parents can have a break or something like that, but have some kind of special night with the grandkids or the grandparents. Maybe even just, have dinner outside in your backyard or a friend's backyard. Or if you have a friend that has a pool, see if you can go over there with the kids and have them play in the pool. I'm trying to think. Open yourself up to crafts maybe that they haven't done before that they would like to try. Ask them if there are certain crafts they would like to do that they haven't tried. Also, another really good thing I think is maybe try to find something during spring break that they can volunteer in doing. We forget we want to fill our lives and our kids' activities with things to do. I think we forget the importance of actually sitting there thinking to ourselves, we need to show our kids how to serve. So maybe find out if there's volunteering options within the summer, depending on their age. And just say, you know what, we're going to do this, we're going to have fun, but we're also going to volunteer our time, and try to get them encouraged to go serve in some way or in some shape. Get them to go ahead and volunteer some way. So maybe try to find some volunteer options within your area that they can assist and help with. Maybe there's a horse riding camp or something that they can go to for the week. I think thinking outside the box. If we have our kids do the same thing all the time, we have to ask them, get involved with them, with trying to find out what they would like to do, things you would like to do. If you just look in your community, you got to expand the circle out a little bit and find maybe some other areas. Use Facebook as a resource. Groupon may have some good Groupon things. Get in the car and drive and maybe come across some new parks or what have you. Doesn't have to be big. I think sometimes we think it has to be these big, huge things, and they really don't. They can be very simple things. Maybe it's, you think about, maybe it's an animal. Hi, 99 Midnight Gamer. How are you? Maybe there's an animal that they would like to, maybe you pick an animal a day and you find that animal and you look it up and you find, information about the animal and you learn about that animal. Crafts. I think that we can get our kids involved with so much than just being on here and being on, on the computer and on our phones and so forth, especially with our teenagers. Hi, Sandy. How are you? If you can, I think that we need to also try to see if we can get especially our teenagers, if we're not working, if we're able to stay home with them, try to see if we can find ways to connect. Put the phone down, and we're going to spend some time connecting with each other. However that needs to be, however that needs to look. But I think that sometimes we get busy and we forget that we've got to put the phone down. We're going to find how to connect. We're going to find out how to get things going, so forth and so on. Oh, it's snowing? We got snow? Yeah. I have this redirecting over to your live at 9:30. Well, it's 7:30 your time, but it's 9:30 my time. And so, have them put the phone down. Connect with them. Spend some time with them. Ask them what you want to do. Find ways to connect with them. And I think we got to do that with our young people. If we can be home, if we can take some time off and spend some time and do some things with them, I think it's very valuable to be able to do it. And like I said, doesn't have to be expensive. Have their friends over and do a camping night, right? In the woods in Oregon. That's okay. I understand. I'm just glad you're here. So I think when we're kind of looking at things to do inexpensively, I think we can come up, maybe other people can put different things in the comments below that you can find that can be budget-friendly ideas that parents would not have thought about doing, that they can put in the comments below when we get done with this video, and maybe go, oh, I would have never thought about doing that. Just a little side note, and I'm just going to say this. I know yesterday I was dealing with a huge migraine yesterday with all these storms coming through. My head has not liked any of it. I'm telling you right now. And I had a tremendous migraine. I had actually a rolling migraine for several days, probably for the past 4 or 5 days. and which means it just goes away and comes back and goes away, and it's not fun. And so I could not do our little game night on Friday. I couldn't do it. We either have to change the name, because I really think that putting the word that I did in front, I'm not even going to say it, has YouTube not liking it. Or if that's not something people are going to enjoy doing, we got to find something else to do other than that. I know everybody can't be here for every stream, and I understand that. I understand that 100%. But if we're going to do that and nobody's going to come in and participate a little bit, there's no sense to do that. I don't want to do something that people are not going to have fun with and enjoy. It's all about the connection. I'm not too much of trivia, but maybe we can find something else. And I think trivia to some degree on YouTube has been done a lot. And I want to find our own unique little niche in that kind of environment. So if doing those phrases where we put in words and make stories, I only did one tonight, it's not something everybody is going to enjoy doing, then we're just not going to do it. And it's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. That's okay. I know I've been worried about you. Stay safe, please. There's been a lot of weather updates, and if anybody's looking for anybody for keeping up with the weather, they can look at that channel. I'm telling you, it was a great resource for us. I don't know how he does. He stays live for hours, and he's actually live right now. So if anybody needs weather updates with all the storms coming in, hiking is another great idea, Sandy. But if people are not going to enjoy, or that's something, I'm sure you're exhausted. But that's a great resource. That's that's the resource we used the night that we were under a hurricane watch. But if that's not something people are going to like doing, then it takes a little time to put those things together. Not much, but it does. I don't want to continue doing it. So I'd like people's feedback. So we were going to do another one on Friday, but I don't think I'm going to do it unless I get people that say, yeah, we really want to do it. I was going to have people come on. But if it's not something that people are going to go, this is fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy doing those. It was something from my childhood I enjoyed doing. If it's not something they're going to enjoy doing, we'll find something else. So I'm going to take this week to kind of think about it, because I think that having a game night on Friday, as long as I don't have another headache. No, that's a great idea, Sandy. As long as I don't have another headache or a migraine, then we can come up with something that everybody will enjoy doing, and we can have a game night, because we talk about some tough things on this channel. We talk about a lot of stuff. Like tonight's pretty light, but there's a lot of topics we talk about that are hard, and I think that it's really important to have. Trivia night would be fun, but I also know that there's a lot of channels that do trivia. And I don't know if I necessarily want to go down that route. I thought about trying to figure out a way to kind of do like a Family Feud kind of night. So I'm going to spend the next week kind of thinking about it. But again, if people are not going to like the whole MAD Libs Monday or Friday, we're not going to continue doing it. We'll find something else. I want it to be unique to this channel. I don't want it to be something everybody else is doing. And if we're going to continue doing that, which I think it's fun, if we're going to continue doing that, then we're probably going to have to change the name so that word is not at the very beginning. Because I think what's happening is that word, YouTube's sitting there going, just the word alone, and it's just burying it. That's what I think. Because I was on there for 45 minutes. Stuber Chat came in and he was it. And I'm thinking, either the word is getting buried or something's happening. And I know that I haven't been on because of Patty's passing and what's been going on and this week and everything. I haven't been on, so it'll take a little bit again to get the algorithm back on. And I also want people to understand, I know that I did the devotion for the 3rd because I could finally do it today. But I also know that uploading every day can sometimes hurt a channel's growth, and that's okay. I'm willing to take a little bit of the hit right now because I know how important it is to a lot of people. A lot of people are benefiting from that. But sometimes it can hurt when you upload a video every day. Yeah, it's okay. I know that I haven't been on because regularly because of Patty's passing and everything. So it's going to take a while for the algorithm. If we can understand the algorithm, I'd be a millionaire. To pick us back up again, and that's okay. It's fine. But I want to do something with games, some kind of game where we're finding a way to connect with each other and bringing people on panel and let them have fun with each other and connect with each other. But I want to make sure we're also doing something unique to this channel and not something that everybody else is doing, if that makes any sense. So we'll have a discussion about that. Let me know in the comments below. That's why I just ended that one probably about 45, 50 minutes in. And I thought, I'll put something together real quick and we'll have another discussion about something, and we'll just put this on back burner right now. And that's okay. No problem. I'm not upset. I'm at all, because even though I find it fun, I don't want to do it if it's not fun for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not worth it. The fun part of that is to doing it with people, and doing it by yourself just isn't as fun. It totally floors. Yeah, I'm thinking of the Family Feud. I'm kind of thinking of that. I really like that show. I'll figure out how I can do it online, but I'll get it going. I'll figure it out. But our Connection Feud or something. So I'll figure something out. But I want to do something that's bringing everybody together, but I'll have to figure it out. So we'll figure it out. But I'm going to kind of put that one on the back burner until I kind of figure it out. We'll figure out something, but I just thought, I thought, it's not fun unless we have people, and to sit there and just, do it by myself. I'm like, I want my friends along. So anyway, let me know in the comments below. I'll see if I can figure it out. I will probably go look and see if I can find any channels doing kind of something like that. And then if we can, then I'll kind of know how to run it, and we'll come up with a different name, all our own, so that it's unique to this channel. And again, maybe eventually, every once in a while, we could do those kind of stories where we put things in there and everything. But again, I don't want to keep doing it if it's not. Yeah, movie night would be good. The problem with that, Sandy, is I can't, as a monetized channel, I can't do that. I would get demonetized for copyright real quick. So I can't even begin to do that one. There's no way. I can't do any of that stuff. That would be copyrighted stuff. I can't do that. If I was not monetized, yeah, but nope, we're not going to do that one. That's a great idea. I would love to do it, but I can't. So we'll figure something out. Let me know in the comments below. But maybe when we get bigger, maybe it'll be something we can bring back. But for right now, we're going to kind of put it on hold, and we'll figure something out. I still want to try to do some kind of game night on Friday. I just want it to be something everybody enjoys. So I need to get over to Alfonso's really quick tomorrow, and it will be streamed on this channel as well. Okay, we are going to be on Big Jack story time tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So tomorrow's busy. We have church. That's if I'm up to going. Christina's coming tomorrow afternoon. And then I have Big Jack's story time at 7 o'clock Eastern. So I hope you will join me. I will put it on the community post tomorrow. And we will be streaming it on this channel as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to participate in that. And then on the 19th, we'll be on the source. I've got to email him too, and trying to get back in the swing of things anyway. But I'm going to head over to Alfonso. Hopefully you will join me there. This will redirect you over to Alfonso's channel, and hopefully you'll go over there and we'll get to be there to support a friend. Alrighty, so I'll see you over there. We're just going to take a moment and just thank our members. Just for all their support.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And Sandy, I did. I put it up yesterday that we were doing it tonight and didn't help. And I really think YouTube can be very sensitive to words. They can be very, very sensitive. And sometimes when you put the words in that is in front of libs, they don't like that because they see that word and they go, oh, somebody's upset. And they don't want that. They want positive stuff. So I'm thinking that's part of it. And it was fun for me when I was growing up, but it may not be fun for everybody. And I want to do something that everybody enjoys. And I also don't want to do something that there's a lot of channels that do trivia. I don't know if I want to I don't want to flow into what everybody else is kind of doing. I want it to be ours. And I'll figure it out, and we'll figure it out together. And maybe it's something people enjoy doing, but your feedback to me and us is important. It really is. It's important. And if it's not something everybody's enjoying, then and not that I can do. I'd have to ask him. I'd have to look at that one, but but I'll have to ask. I didn't know. I'll have to look at it, but not that we can always do everything on this channel that everybody likes or everybody wants. We have to have a mixture of everything. But if a majority of people going, it's something I really enjoy doing, but I would enjoy doing this more, then we'll do that. And that's important, is wanting to have everybody's feedback. And we have to get back in the swing of things. And I probably need to do a little bit more lives coming back in because I need to get back in the swing, get back to the algorithm and everything. And that'll probably help too as well. So I will have to ask him, but I'm going to head over to Alfonso's channel. Remember, be proud of being yourself. Everybody else is taken. Remember, we got you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered, and keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook required. And if you have other suggestions about budget-free activities that people can do with their kids or families, put it in the comments below. And if you can, go and watch some of our replay stuff, our playlist and so forth, and things and episodes and shows you've missed, because that also helps the channel greatly and pushes it out further. So we would really appreciate that if you're able to do that. And one more thing before I leave, I know I always say that. We've started putting something on the channel on our community tab every Thursday. It came out on Friday this time. It's going to be Give Back or Give Support Thursday. That's what we're going to change it to. And that's a playlist of channels. I'm a part of a group that helps each other kind of watch each other's stuff. And in that were all the ones that I watched, and we're just going ahead and putting them in a playlist. They will come out Thursday, available through Sunday. Then that playlist will get hidden until the following Thursday. And if you can go in there, make sure you're subscribed to their channels and go and watch and make a comment in those videos. I know they would appreciate it. There will always be one of our videos in there as well, but it's just a way that we also can support and give back. And then not this week, but the following week, we're going to start doing a channel of the week. So we'll pick a channel out of our group that we're in and give them a shout out and watch their playlists and so forth. So hopefully that'll help too as well, to just support others, because we're all about helping each other grow here for sure. So we'll see you over on Alfonso's channel. We love you all and have a great night. Bye-bye. Keep safe if you're in the storms. Bye-bye, everybody.
So proud of being